Thank you, members of the Google Board, for inviting us back to further discuss the ethics of the situation with James Damore, our former employee who was terminated because of a memo he released involving promoting gender stereotypes within the workplace. There were two decisions that could have been made in this situation. The first is to fire James Damore, which was in line with our code of conduct, which promotes safety and diversity within our workplace. The second decision would have been to keep James Damore on staff, which would have been in line with our open discourse policy here at Google. There is a huge impact no matter what decision we made. There's the large societal impact because of how influential Google is as a company. There's the large individual impact on both our employees as well as James Damore, and there's also the impact on our company. And so in order to analyze the ethics of this situation, we are going to use a four-pronged approach, which analyzes the rights, duties, acts on character, and interests of all involved stakeholders. The rights are the basic rights that a person or organization has. The duties are what a person or organization owes, or what is owed to a person or organization. The acts on character are the traits of a person or organization, and the interests are what benefits a person or organization.
We will begin to analyze the situation looking at the rights that both Mr. Damore has and that we have as a company here at Google. Mr. Damore did have the right to post what he wanted on our open forums here at Google. However, he did not have the right to disrespect his fellow employees. Here at Google, we have the right to conduct business as we please, which includes upholding our code of conduct to promote a safe and respectful environment. Therefore, our right to uphold our code of conduct is far more important than Mr. Damore's right to post what he wanted on our open forums, leading us to the choice of termination through a rights-based perspective.
From a duties-based perspective, James Damore had the duty to respect his fellow coworkers. This includes upholding our code of conduct, and it also includes contributing to a positive work environment. He did not do this when he created a hostile work environment, and he also did not do his due diligence before he released his memo. He later said that he would have used different terminology, that his coworkers would have found less offensive, and so he should have done his due diligence to make sure he was not harming his fellow employees. Google also had several duties, including providing a safe workplace for their employees. This includes upholding their code of conduct and applying it fairly among their employees. This also includes providing equal opportunities, and this goes beyond just a duty to their employees because of how influential Google is as a company. Providing equal opportunities is also a duty to society. And so, from a duties-based perspective, James Damore breached his obligation to our company, and so it is our duty to address that, and so it was the correct decision to terminate James Damore.
Next, we would be looking at the acts on character displayed by Mr. Damore and ourselves here at Google. Mr. Damore acted courageously when posting his controversial memo onto our open discourse forums. However, here at Google, we acted with integrity and justice by following our code of conduct and applying it fairly to all of our employees through the termination of Mr. Damore, which also was a courageous act. Therefore, our character trait of acting justly and firing James Damore to uphold our code of conduct and promote a safe work environment is more important than Mr. Damore's act of courage in his post onto our open forums.
From an interest-based perspective, there are both external and internal interests that need to be considered. Externally, Google has the interest to maintain a favorable reputation because our business model depends on it. We also have the interest to address the past issues that we've had with gender inequality within our workplace. We've had several issues which former employees accused us of discrimination towards women. So by addressing the situation with James Damore, we are showing that we respect all different groups that work at Google. Also, internally, it is in our interest to provide a safe work environment for all of our employees. This includes upholding our code of conduct, and it also includes making sure that we are making sure that we are providing a place where our Google employees can thrive and continue to be creative. And so it is in the best interest of Google, our employees, as well as society, for us to have a safe and inclusive and diverse workplace, and is in the interest of James Damore to promote gender stereotypes. And so it was the correct decision for us to terminate James Damore.
When we look at all four of these perspectives, we can see that they are all in agreement that termination of Mr. Damore was the correct action not only for our Google community, but also for society as a whole. When looking at the rights, our right to uphold our code of conduct outweighs Mr. Damore's right to post what he pleased onto our open forums. He breached his duty to his fellow employees to respect one another, therefore aiding our duty to create a safe work environment. Looking at acts on character, it was just for us to fire Mr. Damore in favor of promoting a safe work environment and upholding the code of conduct over his character trait of courage. And looking at integrity, looking at interests, it was the correct decision to fire Mr. Damore, as it promoted our safe work environment over his interests of promoting gender stereotypes in the workplace. When we put all of these together, we can see that the termination of Mr. Damore was not only the best ethical decision for ourselves, but also for society. We believe that the termination of Mr. Damore was the best decision because it upholds our code of conduct, which can simply be summed up as don't be evil. It is our belief to respect and be courteous to one another. Our code of conduct and the simple summation of our code of conduct have been used in our two solutions, which we have given to you, the board. Our first solution is to pin our simple summation, don't be evil, to the top of our open forums, which is a gentle reminder to employees to be courteous and respect one another. It is proven that when reading a short summation of a code of conduct or ethics before completing an action, the action is more likely to abide by this code of conduct or ethics. Our second solution is to flag potentially offensive posts on our open forum. This flagging system will begin with each individual employee flagging things that they feel are offensive or could harm the work environment here at Google. They will then be passed on to a committee constructed of fellow Google employees who will then determine if this indeed is offensive or could harm our work environment. Those deemed so will be passed on to human resources, and they will deem that this can be used as a teaching and learning tool for our Google community. We believe that it is important to set clear and unambiguous guidelines for possible future occurrences in the workplace. These solutions go hand in hand with the termination of James Damore to promote a safe and inclusive workplace here at Google, along with continuing to foster a diverse workplace and encourage women's ingenuity here at Google. Thank you for meeting with us. We look forward to seeing you again.